John, do you think an individual consumer can out-negotiate one of your negotiators?
Globally, no. I mean, and that's where the OTAs have the big power. You know, ultimately, for the consumers, we can offer fantastic rates, but more importantly, fantastic availability, 365 days a year across destinations where if I was to go in myself and try and negotiate that deal, probably be very difficult. Just to your point on the number of consumers who come on our sites and they look and then ultimately they may go and book directly with the supplier, with the hotel, and that does happen. I mean, on average, across the large OTAs, 3% we work on. It's a 3% conversion. So that means 97% of our visitors actually either go away or go somewhere else or go directly to you. And to add to Lewis's point, I think just by having your hotel available on any of our sites, you're automatically increasing your own direct business by default, ultimately.
I just want to make a point, if it's okay, in terms of the negotiation, right? Because sometimes when we use that word, it always seems like we're in a table, like, give me that. And it don't necessarily has to be that way, right? Because at the end, like you said, a hotel inventory is perishable, right? The most expensive room is the one that you don't sell, right? And what we want to do, right, is, and that's why we have a team of people to work with the hotel, is to try to make sure we get into a relationship that both parties win, right? Offering a promotion to the consumer, right, is always, not always a negotiation, but the advantage of the hotel, right, to bring that consumer there, right? So sometimes that would decrease the average rate that the hotel pay, but the revenue per available room perceived by the hotel will increase, right?
Chris, do you have an angle on this?
Yeah, so just to be clear, TravelZoo doesn't book travel. We're a media company that has an audience of 18 million subscribers worldwide, and we let them know about travel opportunities. So actually the travel suppliers, the tour operators, the hotels, the cruise companies, the cruise agents, the travel agents, get all of the business from TravelZoo. We don't book anything. Just to give you some clear statistics, though, real statistics, in the UK, we have 1.5 million subscribers. 75% of those people tell us that they do not get an email from British Airways. British Airways is the biggest brand in that country. So, if British Airways, it's quite exciting to know that you can reach more than 1 million people that don't get emails from you directly. So this is an advantage. A second statistic, Starwood. When we worked with Starwood in Madrid, in Spain, they told us that 85% of the guests that booked from the UK, from Germany, and from America never stayed at that hotel before and never were members of the Starwood's reward program. Now, Starwood and British Airways, if we provide a passenger or a guest, gets to remarket to these people. So I think it's very similar in that Expedia and Orbitz are really spending a fortune. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars around the world to market, and 97% of people will book somewhere else. I mean, that's a pretty scary statistic if you're building the market. And for TravelZoo, these people who eventually book and stay or fly or go on a tour operator can be remarketed to directly. So in some respects, you have to wonder, well, why do we even do this? I mean, we should probably charge more money for what we do, right?
Everybody feels they should charge more money for what they do. Michael, very quickly.
Yeah, very quick. I think what you raised, a historic model, or a more, offline model where you said the tour operator. There was a time when tour operators, paid great value to you to target a segment, that was important to you that you couldn't reach yourself. Nowadays, in the online world, and you rightly said, consumers are a lot more educated. They're a lot more savvy, in terms of distribution. They understand everything a lot better nowadays. So to cater for that, tour operators will remain to cater for that segment, but in a way that is not dynamic. So, the new dynamics that are in the market can be built in the models that, us here provide. The classic tour operator still works on an allotment basis, on a pricing that is classically about 12 to 18 months old, that can't take advantage of, last year in September, did you know with your property that your rates within 3 months are gonna fall by about 30%? In the tour operator, you weren't able to react to those market conditions and actually fill your hotel. In the online arena, you can actually do that because you're in control of your own pricing up to the minute. So if you look at that from your own perspective, as a supplier, you can react much, much faster to a more sophisticated level of consumers. And, for us on that, it also proves it's a segment we're targeting. In the online world, there is no differentiation anymore between a leisure customer, which the tour operator initially, or a business traveler, or a combination of both, etc. There's only an online customer nowadays. So, so the reach is also much, much broader to capture in, a booking for itself, which is in the end, you don't care whether it's a leisure customer or a business traveler as long as he sleeps in your hotel. So I think in that regard, it's a lot easier nowadays to actually manage demand to the minute better than in the historic way.
Chris, one point.
One last point is this. I mean, it's really to this point. So I have an audience in Los Angeles of just about 1 million people. In New York City, I have an audience of about 1.5 million people every week. 10 years ago, you would think I was crazy if I said to you, okay, you've got a nice hotel in Florence. Let's tell the people in New York about that without any airfare, without a tour operator. Yeah? Now, every single week, we're doing this. Recently, a hotel in Rome, they booked, I think it was either 60 or 80,000 euros worth of business, and these people were in the UK, Germany, and the United States without airfare. A hotel in the Maldives called up 2 weeks ago and said, I need business. It's empty. We need help. This is the Maldives. We said, okay, there's a tour operator. We've got the media. Let's go. And it's unbelievable that the markets have just moved so much. Hotels probably, certainly in New York and San Francisco, it used to be 10 years ago, I only think about my drive market and then my corporate business. Now the whole situation is turned on its head. And I think it's a good thing rather than a bad thing,
Lucia.
Definitely, I frankly believe that it is another opportunity you have to take to be distributed in other channels.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've spectacularly run out of time. It's my honor, it's been my honor to present to you. My name's Tom Jenkins. Will you please thank this panel for me?
Here I am. Thanks, really thanks. Even if the audience is not the same, but the last one were enough. I mean, to have this spectacular to end this event. Really, thank you to all of you, and I hope to see you in the next edition 2010. We don't know yet when it will be. We have to carefully choose data which it doesn't match with Focusrite in the US. Otherwise, everyone is saying to me that BTO shouldn't match Focusrite. Thanks, really thank you. Adesso torno a parlare in italiano per chiudere la manifestazione e la chiuderò chiamando tutto il staff che ha collaborato con me durante l'evento. Vi faremo vedere di nuovo il classico balletto Where the Hell is BTO, e se qualcuno lo vuole, io non ce la faccio veramente, sono troppo stanco, ma se qualcuno dello staff lo vuole rifare sul palco è il benvenuto. Quindi tutto lo staff di BTO, grazie, sul palco.
I don't want to dance with them, so they are dancing now. So